Hey folks, MasakoX here. Today I wish to try out something, to discuss what we could expect going forward into the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super coming out in a few days' time. I recently did a survey about content going forward into the following year on this channel, and one of the major bits of feedback I got from it was to do more videos about speculative theories, investigation into the manga and how it could develop. Well, I could do that. Let's give that a shot, shall we? So if you do like this, leave a like and subscribe, as well as maybe drop a cheeky membership down below, the join button, support the channel, yeah? Thank you. Right, let's remind ourselves of what we saw in the previous chapter. In our real-time read-along of the manga last month, I did that as an experiment, we saw the proper showcase of Ultra Ego Vegeta, and I must say that I was absolutely amazed with what we saw. It is a transformation which is perfect for the likes of the Prince of All Saiyans, and if you do watch my What If videos as well, then it could have been really good for Raditz too had we known about it. We did a full video in fact about Vegeta's Ultra Ego form up top, if you want to take a deeper look into it, but for now, let's get to grips with the biggest thing we got from 75, and that is Vegeta didn't lose. Yet. What we got was Vegeta trying to be a sort of guiding figure, like he did with Kaba to Granolah, to make him realise his potential, or to maybe see the bigger picture and get him to calm down, understand the enormity of his situation. Sort of what Goku likes to do, what he was trying to do with Broly in the movie of the same name. However, Vegeta didn't really realise that Granolah's gone way beyond rational thought right now. He's descended into merely spouting out the same rhetoric over and over again, even tossing to the side his only friend Oatmeal. Or at least the communicator that means that he can talk to Oatmeal. Also, Goku is now back up and about, and using his healing abilities that were touched upon in the Gogeta saga of the Super manga. Something that he could do apparently. Somehow. It's sort of like that weird power like Goku can read minds or destroy rock with its eyes. Yeah, the Namek saga was weird like that, wasn't it? In any case, it takes time. And judging from the way this has been framed, he will be back up in fighting condition for the next chapter, whilst Granolah is playing with his vegetables. I want to make 5 predictions for the next chapter based on what we know from previous chapters and their exposition. We're not going to be resorting to the draft pages of chapter 76 that we got on the official Dragon Ball website, so you know, so there aren't any spoilers here. Once chapter 76 comes out, I want you to do one thing. Come back to this video and leave in the comments which you thought we got right and the ones we got wrong. We'll go over the results next month. Let's begin. Number 1. The first battle will conclude with no overall victor. So, this one is a little spicy, but I think it's kinda accurate. This is way too early for the arc to end. This isn't the final battle between Saiyans and Granolah, it's far too soon. This is going to be merely the showcase for Granolah about what he has gotten himself into, and the turning point for his character going from a typical, regular, sad, tragic bounty hunter into a self-righteous pariah, to be frank. He is slowly going mad, eschewing his past life and his friends and allies, and now doing his own thing. Monaito has been ignored, Oatmeal has been tossed to the side, literally, and the Heeters are now running circles around him, playing him like a sap, all for the sake of being almighty and powerful for a couple of years before he conks out. Goku and Vegeta will fight together for definite, sort of like what we got in the second Cooler movie, but I'll get to that thought in more detail next, but for now, this fight is just the beginning. It is going to end, also based on the fact that most singular battles in the Super manga tend to last maybe about 2 chapters. This is going into its 3rd chapter, and if you really want to count Goku's preamble with Granolah earlier, it's nearer 5. Things need to move along now in the plot to get to the 2nd act. Number 2. We're not going to be seeing Gogeta, folks. Sorry. Like I said just now, Goku and Vegeta will fight together, but not as a fusion. This is quite a big step this early on in the saga. Why would you resort to Gogeta for the first major battle in the story? It's too early to use. And if you do use it, then what are you going to pull out of the bag later on? Vegito? You've used the G card already. You're going to pull out the V card? Oh. Oops. No. Not that one. No. This needs to be another example of Goku and Vegeta learning to fight together in the face of adversity, and granted, it's not going to be the most effective means to fight Granolah, but right now, it could be at least enough to stave off the bounty hunter for the time being, and allow Vegeta to maybe recompose himself, maybe even try Ultra Ego again. Sort of like how Goku was able to recover in the Tournament of Power tapping into the power a couple of more times of Ultra Instinct without the need for sensu beans. But speaking of power, this leads me on to my third point. The Heeters will use the Dragon Balls against Granolah. That's right. Remember, the Cerulean Dragon Balls, the ones made by Monaito, have no cooling off period. If you can find them, all 2 of them, you can spam wishes as much as you like. The Heeters can find them, since they have the Dragon Radar, and all Dragon Balls are seemingly on the same frequency that the radar can pick up. Like they could pick up the Namekian Dragon Balls and the Super Dragon Balls. I think they can pick up these 2. In the wish that they will make, I'm predicting they will do one of 2 things. But I'm going to lump my thoughts into one because they're sort of the same thing. They could either wish for Granolah's power to be stripped from him, and yet still he only has 3 or so years left to live, or, and this is what I have thought particularly, which really got me stoked, Gas will have the power of the Cerulean transferred to him. And you see, the Heeters have used the 3 combatants for their own ends. They are the true masterminds of this sector and this saga. Frieza hasn't really figured in here so far, other than being a point of focus for Granolah. At least for now, based on what we know. The Heeters have gotten what they wanted out of Granolah, and will assume that, he will tear the monkeys apart, and if he survives, he'll go after Frieza, maybe take him down, leaving Alex's gang as the sole entity that can then dominate the galaxy or even universe. They, after that, can just take away Granolah's power and then carry on. They don't care what happens to him ultimately. So long as he did what he was supposed to do, they're good. Number 4. Monaito will either die or be severely weakened. It's clear that the Dragon Balls on Cereal had rarely been used. The last time, seemingly, it had been used on the planet was about 50 years ago, and the Namekians could live for a very long time. However, Monaito doesn't strike me as a particularly strong example. He's extremely old for his kind, and the Dragon Torombo seems to be a very disproportionately powerful dragon. The ratio of power shared between Dragon and Namekian is rather skewed in my opinion, so wishing too often with too high a stake is going to take its toll on the old man. The wish that Granolah made gave his friend extreme pain and anguish, not just for the consequences for his friend, but the actual wishing of it. But if the Heeters then do a similarly potent wish not so long after the last one, that could be the end for Monaito, or easily have it, so if they make one more wish on them too soon, he gonna die. That's a good way of adding some suspense to proceedings actually, I think. In the here and now, Torombo is going to be pivotal in where the story goes, and its instant regen is a very highly sought after prize. Number 5. The Sugarians will banish Granolah from their world. This one may not seem all that sensational to you, but I think it's still rather tragic for the Cerulean. Ironic too, after what happened with the Saiyans. All that they had done for him, the Sugarians have gotten nothing much in return. Granolah's been really much of a jerk. This act of aggression, all the destruction caused by the battle with Vegeta, will be the straw that breaks the space camel's back. It will become clear that Granolah was responsible for all of this carnage and panic amongst their people, and the Sugarians will have no choice but to ask or even demand that Granolah leaves the planet, never to return. Him being too much of a risk for their people. It's kind of sad when you think about it, and something that Vegeta was right about bringing up earlier. By seeking revenge, like this, Granolah has only further pounded his kind's history into dust, sort of becoming everything he ever hated. And the Sugarians don't want the same thing happening to them. They felt sorry for him back in the day, being the last Cerulean alive, but now, nah, he's too dangerous. The Sugarians are a kind and benevolent race, really sweet. But this is something that even they can't abide by. I mean, will Granolah care though? It depends where Toriyama wants to go with this. This can either be a wake-up call to his descent into madness, at least temporarily, or, like before, he probably won't give a hoot and just leave to find Frieza. One thing's for sure though, Granolah will not be as welcome as he was before this happened. These are my 5 predictions for the next chapter. Let me know down in the comments what your predictions might be, and whether you agree or not with mine. And let's get this discussion going. I'll see you in the next video, and let's look forward to chapter 76. Catch you later!